Let's try and hope it still works. There's a super promotion. With a single shot, you'll see yourself in your current form, in the guise of a pirate, and, brand new option, in the guise of a drunk pirate. All offered by the Lafitte Amusement Park. The things you do to attract customers. Woo! I better go out and recover the posters. I'm curious to admire the different versions of myself. Great, 3 posters of me. I wouldn't say I'm exactly photogenic, but the flash didn't exactly help either. I think I'm a good-looking kid. I don't want to waste it like that. Let's give a touch of authenticity to this poster. Now it seems that it was issued by a town hall department. The stamp has done its duty. I don't need it anymore. These are my posters from the Lafitte Amusement Park, with an official stamp of Bonetown. It says, Amusement Park entrance to the right, main road to the left, lighthouse straight ahead. I'm quite sure it's a felony to remove public material, and I can't see why I should do that. I'm quite sure it's a felony to remove public material, and I can't see why I should do that. I think they're installing the new gutters on these roofs, too. One of the few things still left intact from the Lafitte Amusement Park. I could stand in line waiting for someone to show up, or I could spend my time any other way. It's the entrance to the amusement park, or rather, it was the entrance. I think these are the remains of the amazing Lafitte Amusement Park. It seems it has been turned into the town dump over time. There's something shiny on the roof. Maybe it's the only thing worth taking from this place. It looks like a chimney, but strangely, it seems to be covered by a huge number of engravings. My arms are not long enough. Maybe now they will come in handy. Got it. It's not a chimney. It looks more like a roll with a series of engravings on it. I don't think I still need these bulky tongs. It's a roll used to make an instrument play automatically. In this case, I believe it's a piano. There's a signature and a date. April 24th, 1712. Walter Fly. If it really works, Fly would be a genius. There are still some prizes inside. I wonder how it works. I can't force it. It still looks very sturdy. It's an old attraction. You must strongly pound the base to make the weight go up the vertical rail so that it strikes the bell and makes it ring. Difficult task without even the original hammer. Let's try this one. No way, the weight doesn't move an inch. There must be another way to make the bell ring. Is it possible the solution could be so easy? It seems to have worked. I won a prize. Very nice. Let's see what this is about. Small Teddy, property of Rock Lafitte. Rock Lafitte? Could he be the same man from my father's letter? It would seem he was a pirate with a soft heart. It'd be better to check this plush more carefully. Just as I thought, there's something hidden inside. The very smart Mr. Lafitte hid his piece of the map the only place no one would ever look for it. Better add his part of the map to the other pieces. I don't need this plush anymore. I hope Mr. Lafitte won't be offended. Nice. Now I have 2 pieces of the map. It's the poster used to sponsor the carousel next door. Come to measure your strength. Make the bell ring. Only Rock Lafitte, the strongest man in the world, has done it. Rock Lafitte? It seems to me that he was on the list my father left me. I gather he was the onboard carpenter. Once in Bonetown, he was the only one who had the technical knowledge to build an amusement park from scratch. Life aboard the ship must have trained him a lot. I can believe he was the only one to make the bell ring. You surely need a considerable amount of strength. It's the seagull's nest. I can see many little objects inside that it surely picked up around Bonetown. Wait a minute. I believe I see a coin. I think I could find a use for it. Such a nice little animal. Actually, scratch that. I can't take anything until the seagull goes away. Keep out. Threatening, but not excessively. I'd rather leave it here as a warning to all future visitors. Better not remove any pieces. I'd risk compromising its safety. The planks still look in good shape. I'd say all these signs create only unjustified panic, and this comes from someone who rode a bike with no brakes. $16.99. The light will guide you. I guess it's praise for the job this lighthouse had to do. I wonder how many ships it helped dock safely. There's also a list of things to do. 1. Start. 2. Steer. It doesn't seem difficult. I wouldn't know what to do with it. It's a rudimentary control box. I think it adjusts the position of the lighthouse. There's a sort of map with coordinates, but there are no other indications. It doesn't work if the lighthouse is off. It's the opening to access the actual lighthouse. It's the old lighthouse of Bonetown. It must be nearly identical to what it was originally. Then some piece was added during subsequent maintenance, but I guess its basic function remained unchanged. Now I know how it works. You just have to turn it on and guide it. These are pebbles of pumice stone, light and with 1,000 uses. A few pumice stone pebbles could come in handy. They're light but resistant. These are pieces of pumice stone, simultaneously light and resistant. It's an old family crypt. It probably belongs to some rich family in Bonetown. Maintenance wasn't very helpful here. It's empty. There's no need to enter. It's a tombstone. Surely among these must be one in remembrance of my father, but I don't know which one it is. After he vanished, we never came back here to Bonetown. I don't want to take a tombstone. This crypt seems more recent than the others. The entrance is locked, quite rightly. Restricted access will be reserved for family members only. This crypt is open. Somebody transformed this crypt into some sort of house. It probably became a shelter for someone. It doesn't seem healthy to touch these things. I hope it's just an exposition coffin that ended up here by mistake. I don't want to open a coffin. White flowers. Maybe this is the only place they will grow. The place is sunny and damp at the same time. These are just the conditions the pharmacist described. I think these are just the flowers he's looking for. I hope they grew spontaneously. I could finally find the flowers the pharmacist asked me to find. He seems very busy with that car. Hello.
Hi, do you need something?
He seems very busy.
Good boy. I can see you're very perceptive.
Let's say it's one of my numerous gifts, in addition to...
I'll stop you right there. I already said you're very perceptive, and you noticed that I'm very busy. What does that tell you?
That you need my help?
Absolutely. Here's what I need now. Could you please talk to me as little as possible, at least until I'm finished with this job?
Is it a long job?
You have no idea.
He seems very busy.
Good boy. I can see you're very perceptive.
Let's say it's one of my numerous gifts, in addition to...
I'll stop you right there. I already said you're very perceptive, and you noticed that I'm very busy. What does that tell you?
That we have become friends?
In a certain sense, so I need a favor from a friend. Could you please talk to me as little as possible, at least until I'm finished with this job?
Is it a long job?
You have no idea.
Goodbye.
Bye.
It's a box full of tools.
It doesn't seem like a good idea. Unless it's a matter of life and death, my tools cannot be touched.
I get it. It's an old car. I don't have my driver's license yet. Load and shoot. It seems to be an old machine for throwing baseballs. It's an old engine, but there's no gasoline. I can't. It needs gasoline to work. A ship is depicted. Maybe it's some sort of allegory. I think it depicts a village with a boat getting closer. It's a beautiful stained glass window. From here I can't see it clearly. Maybe by entering the church it would be more visible. It's the access door to the church. I think he's the Reverend of the Bonetown Church. Good morning, Father.
Good morning, son.
I was admiring the beauty of this church.
You're right. It's a real piece of art. It dates back a few centuries and is all thanks to an ancestor of mine. After he traveled across the ocean, he settled here in Bonetown. Seeing the condition of the village, he wanted to build a place of comfort for wayward souls at all costs.
What was the name of your ancestor?
Edward Drake, the first minister of the Bonetown community, upstanding guide of Bonetown's people, unblemished pastor of the community.
Yes, Father, I think I understand.
This calling has been handed down from one generation to another, right up to today.
Can you tell me anything more about Edward Drake?
My ancestor? First minister of the Bonetown community, upstanding guide of the Bonetown's people, unblemished pastor of the community.
Yes, that one.
Before coming here to Bonetown, it is said he was a skilled glassmaker. All the stained glass windows of the church are his handiwork, created by his powerful hand, fused with the sacred fire of faith, designed with the ecstasy of supreme adoration.
Yes, really beautiful.
Yes, son. Every time I look at them, the fervor of the Drakes ignites within me once again.
How are things going for the Church of Bonetown?
Under my guidance, there's nothing to fear. Unfortunately, my flock has been reduced in number, but not in the strength of its faith. There are just a few troublemakers, a few kids who still don't have the patience to listen to my small 2-hour sermons, but nothing more.
How come Bonetown is in this condition?
Progress. Bonetown remained a pure city, like when my ancestor arrived and never adapted to progress, and the latest events surely didn't help.
What events?
There are weird stories going around. Some of the faithful said they've seen people, not locals, digging around the city. We warned the mayor, who went personally to the places in question, but he found them already abandoned. Rumors say these excavations caused a hydrogeological instability that's depleting Bonetown's water supply. Fortunately, the holes were filled in again to prevent any damage to our flourishing city tourism.
What do you mean exactly by flourishing tourism?
Son, just the mere chance to visit our holy church should be good reason to come to Bonetown. Our little St. Peter.
Maybe you're exaggerating a little.
Plus, we have a lot of other pleasant attractions. Here in Bonetown, we don't lack anything. Library, museum, amusement park, one of the most famous inns of the area.
I wish I knew that earlier. I'm staying at the Dead Man Inn.
That one, precisely. Everybody envies us for it.
Who exactly envies the Dead Man Inn?
Come again, son?
Nothing, Father. I was just reflecting on my luck. What's the reason, in your opinion, for these illegal excavations?
Rumors say that under Bone Town there are veins of precious materials, and that the excavations were tests conducted by companies without city approval. The mayor would never let the city be disfigured.
What materials might be in Bonetown's subsoil?
Some fantasize about golden veins. Others say it's copper or tin. I think there is nothing at all, or they would have surely realized it when they built the city. There's been no findings of any precious materials, either today or in the past. In doubt, the mayor may put some signs around that forbid excavations in all areas adjoining the town.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, son.
I think he's... Can you tell me anything more about Edward Drake?
My ancestor, first minister of the upstanding
Yes, that...
before creation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you...
My upstanding.
Yes.
Before creation.
Yes.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, son.
I think someone forgot this old camera here. Maybe he was disappointed by the subject. Maybe it could come in handy. It's an old Polaroid that someone left in the church. You can still take some snapshots with it. I'll have to choose the subject to be immortalized carefully. Interesting. Seeing such a huge ship represented on a big stained glass window is not something you see every day. I wonder from which religious source the master glassmaker took inspiration. It's accurate in every detail. Actually, now that I'm looking at it carefully, on one of the sails there are even some micro-inscriptions. It's a shame I can't get any closer. The story seems to continue. The boat is about to reach a safe haven. If I broke it, I would never forgive myself. And in the end, a flourishing city. I don't see why. I don't think that's important enough to be photographed. Goodbye.
Goodbye, son.
The rolls should go here. Another noise. The hideout opened a little bit more. Ingenious. An alcove with sound recognition. The inventor must have been a genius. A bit better. I can just glimpse something. Maybe a piece of paper? The crack is still too narrow. I can't stick my hand inside. Here are the pics I took with the Polaroid. Now that the photographic film is over, I don't need that Polaroid anymore. I don't think there are any specialist photography shops here in Bonetown. The subject is the gun from the armory, photographed from different points of view for a more complete overview. Such a lovely specimen, I suppose. Here, horsey. It doesn't seem to be very cooperative. Maybe it needs some extra incentive. I think they can be used in a more useful way. I don't need it here. I don't think that beating that hammer here would be useful. Maybe if there was something between the anvil and the hammer, it would be more helpful. I don't need it. I don't think that would... I think they can be used in a more useful way. It's closed. The owner has put up a notice. I'll be right back, thanks. He actually told me he was going to the warehouse. I better try later. It should work. The photos surely have to be inserted here. Very well. A perfect plastic copy of the gun photographed in the shop. This printer model uses materials that faithfully reproduce the original objects by starting from simple photos. This replica could surely come in handy. It's a faithful replica of the gun I photographed at the armory. I can't do that now. The owner might see me. I think I'm a good-looking kid. I don't want to ruin it. I think he's the owner of the shop. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
There must be something for which you would be willing to part with that gun.
Absolutely not. There is no other weapon identical to this. You could try to find another identical one, but according to the research we did, it's a unique piece. And even if I found another one of the same value, I could never trade it. As I already told you, our patronage is based, at the end of the day, on this heirloom. That's why we installed a very sophisticated alarm system that goes off as soon as the weapon is removed.